Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship here for round number 9 of the 2020 Formula 2 Championship at the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve in the south of Portugal for the Formula 2 Portuguese Grand Prix. Yes, we are here for yet another season of F2 at this track. Should be another brilliant race as well, as we just head out of round 8 at the Hockenheim Ring. The European leg comes to a finale as we've only got 4 rounds to go in the championship after this one. 20 minutes of qualifying await us. Our one and only championship leader, Erik Adelberg, in the ART Grand Prix, is the first man out on track. And in the commentary box today, it is me, Miran, and joining me once again, it is Giuseppe. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Miran. It's really nice to be here at F2, one of the most exciting series for sure, at an even more exciting track. So let's see what it brings to us today.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have you here, Giuseppe, as Erik Adelberg will start his lap. So as you will get to witness Adelberg going around the circuit. I will take you through the track. So the Algarve International Circuit, as I did mention, it is the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve in Portuguese, but it is more commonly referred to as the Portimão Circuit, located in the Algarve region of Portugal. The track was opened in October of 2008, making it one of the newest venues on the Formula 2 calendar. Cost a total of 195 million euros, making it one of the most advanced motorsport complexes in the region. In fact, it doesn't only feature a racetrack, it features a karting track, an off-road track, a technology park, a 5-star hotel, and even a sports complex. So this is just so much more than only a racing track. But it is the racing track that we will focus on, as it was first opened in 2008. It hosted the final round of the World Superbike Championship only a month after its opening. A few other series would come to visit as well, stuff like the Le Mans Series, the A1 Grand Prix Series, and the FIA GT Championship was held there. And even Formula 1 came here to have some test sessions, but F1 obviously did not properly race here until the 2020 season due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it would also come back for 2021 as well. But yeah, the layout, which has remained unchanged since 2008, is 4.6 kilometers long, features 15 turns, and the race lap record is a Formula 1 race, obviously, back in 2020, which was a 118.7. We're going to see far slower lap times than that. F2 has raced here once, back in 2009 on the GP2 moniker. So F2 has in real life never come here before. But the track, which does feature a lot of elevation changes, is a fan favorite among many. A lot of people do like to compare it to tracks like the Nürburgring or Spa, even, due to its constantly undulating nature. But it is a very, very interesting track. Wouldn't you agree, Giuseppe?
Yeah, it certainly is. I really like the mix of corners, and the elevation changes make the corners just even better. So we're surely in for a heck of a race today. And there's a lot of overtaking spots on this track. I think I remember turn 1 being a good one, if my memory is that good. But let's see, because these drivers are nearly the best in the world. They'll find spaces anywhere. So let's see what it awaits us. As for now, we have Mateus Poco in first place. And correct me, actually, it's now Håkon Olsen. And there's still, I think, 4 cars that need to come across the line.
That is Rodrigo Jimenez who's going to cross the line, but very good stuff from Håkon Olsen then. I was just about to say he's the only man in the 131s, but Albert Chowdhury joins him. So does Tunetorn Konkum, second or third in the championship at the moment. Chowdhury is the man who's second in the championship. Matija Dragovic is the final man across the line, and the Serbian will slot into 10th. That's all the 22 times on the board then. And I think one man we should mention would be who is currently in P15 at the moment. Jake Tildesley makes his Formula 2 debut here at the Portuguese Grand Prix after 3 long seasons in Tier 3. He finally gets a shot at F2 stardom, only for 1 round though, as Ollie Boaks is injured. But Håkon Olsen is currently fastest with a 1:31.956 from Konkum in second and Chowdhury in third. But yeah, we'll await all the other lap times as Nikhil Walji is up into ninth. But good stuff from Håkon Olsen, who has seemed to be pretty good in qualifying recently. Obviously, the man who is down in 19th in the championship is going to be wanting to get himself up there with his teammate Matija Dragovic.
Yes, indeed. Also, this race probably a race for Jake Tilsley to prove himself, because he is right now sitting in third in Porsche Super Cup, even having a win under his belt. If he can impress today, maybe that will improve his chance of getting a Formula 2 seat, which would be really good for him, of course.
Indeed. We'll see what he's going to be able to pull out. Obviously, last race we were treated to the absolute spectacle of Michael Valyak when he shocked the racing world by taking a Formula 2 win on debut. Currently, though, he does sit in last position here in qualifying. So, yeah, Valyak as well is going to have to prove himself to not only be a one-hit wonder. As we're looking at Rowan Shotanus, who currently is in 10th. He's been having quite a miserable season so far, with only 2 points finishes to his name and P20 in the championship. It is not looking good for the man who was contending for the championship last season.
Indeed, as now it's feels a bit. Of course, as I've talked about this, like in the last Super Formula race, this is like the quiet part of qualifying. But seems like the times are gonna be around 1:31s. I can see the drivers going down to 1:31.5, to be honest. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be one big improvement from these guys, and we could see a very, very good lap on our hands as Rodrigo Jimenez is going to go across the line. Could this be a good lap for the Brazilian in the Prema? As he goes across the line, it is no improvement for Rodrigo Jimenez, and unfortunately he does not join the 1:31 club just yet. Still, though, very good lap from Jimenez so far in fourth. The Brazilian should be quite happy about that for the time being, and currently behind him is his fellow compatriot Mateusz Poco, who is keeping himself honest in P5 at the moment, which is good to see, considering Mateusz has not had the best of seasons either. But currently he is trailing his Harus teammate Tobias Schwulenberg in 8th, so Harus could be on for double points here if things stay as they are. But as you did say, Giuseppe, this could just be the quiet moments of the session, because as we always have seen in Formula 2 and just spec series in general, it is the later ends of the session where things like to heat up.
Yeah, this is like the part of where the drivers kind of want to get used to the track, see where they can go faster and stuff like that, and then towards the end we really see them go fast, and that's like the exciting part. But of course, now it's just a waiting game. And maybe also some mind games, because there's a lot of drivers near each other, maybe trying to kind of piss themselves off, if you can say a bad word right now. But to sum it up, right now the top 3 is Håkon Olsen, Dunyator Konkum, and Abra Chaudhry, all in their 131s.
So all of that remains unchanged then, but yeah, this track obviously has, as I did say, has been in use with Formula 2 ever since 2018. On pole for that race was Rosetta Martinez, who currently is down in 21st. He'd go on to win that race. So Mateusz Poco goes across the line, and it's provisional pole for the Brazilian. Very, very well done.
That's a good lap.
Yeah, he's done fantastically of himself, and that could be a very, very big boost for Mateusz Poco, who has not been doing too well in the championship. This could potentially be the turning point for him. But Håkon Olsen has been dethroned by the number 11 Harus, who could seem to shake things up here in qualifying.
And yeah, he's going side by side with, I'm not sure which car it is. Might be a
That's
Campos.
Proster.
As Alex Prost. Yeah, they're having a bit of racing there.
Yep.
It's always nice to see.
Demonstrating the racing capabilities of Portimao as Poco does get himself ahead of the Brit. But this track, the first time we came here, we witnessed Rosetta Martinez take pole position, and he's going to win that race. It was a very hard-fought race win, though. He fended off against, I believe it was really Sundevik, as we're going to get a bit more battling. These guys do seem to like to interrupt me, as Broster is going to swing one around the outside of Mateusz Poco. These guys have been battling for almost the entire race, the entire lap, which is crazy to see. But, yeah, it will be Broster who does come out ahead in that battle. But, yeah, the battle between Martinez and Sundevik is one that does come to mind. Back in 2018, it would be Martinez who take his third win that season in Formula 2. He'd equal the record of Thomas Mandic, and now Eric Adelberg as well. 2019 would see none other than Daniel Fraser take it, and on pole for last season was this man, Jean-Francois Bilot. What a good segue to introduce that on, as Jean-Francois Bilot, the man who was on pole here last season, storms to the top of the timing sheets with a 1:31.803, and the ART Grand Prix driver might look for pole number 5 in Formula 2.
Yeah, it's an amazing lap actually. 1:31.8. We're starting to go way down and down with the times.
Yeah, times are coming down. As you did say, I think we could definitely expect the times to go into the 1:31.5, as you did say. So we're looking at Nigel Walji fighting one of the HWAs. That is the number 17. I'm not quite sure which one that is, but it's going to be the HWA who does get past the Canadian in the Prema. But this race last season, we had Fraser and Bilot fight it out for their second race wins. Bilot was on pole position that race, but unfortunately couldn't convert it into a race win, and it would be Daniel Fraser who would take his second career race win. It was a very, very long wait for the Brit, obviously, because the race win before that was the 2017 Bahrain Grand Prix, so he had to wait a hell of a while before that one. And now we're here in 2020. But yeah, Bilot on provisional pole once again. It does seem to be a good qualifier around this track, so we'll see what he can do. And speaking of, there goes Thundertorn Konkup to dethrone Jean-Francois Bilot, and up into third goes Ari Soilu. Great lap from the Finn, but Thundertorn Konkup, the man from Thailand, has gone on to provisional pole with a 1:31.762. It is looking to be a very, very good qualifying for Thundertorn Konkup, as Jake Tildesley in the Carlin goes up into P6 on his debut. Great stuff for Tildesley, and he will be very, very happy about himself with that P6.
Yeah, that's a good. That would put him in an excellent place for the race. Let's see if he can keep that.
Fraser!
Fraser! Yeah, that's an amazing lap.
Yeah, great lap from Daniel Fraser, the man who won here last season, looking to do it again. Championship charge might not be over for this man, as he is gonna take provisional pole. Great stuff from Fraser. 1:31.748. He's gone it by about 200s. Not even that, under 200s.
That is a slight improvement by Schulenberg, and we see Bilot and Fraser up there again. Could we see another battle between those two in this race? We'll have to find out. As championship leader, Adelberg is down there in 17th. If he does stay there, can maybe...
McGregor!
That's McGregor with a 1:31.608, and Jimenez slots in right behind him.
Incredible!
Those are excellent lap times.
That is absolutely incredible. Matija Dragovic up into 9th, but Remus McGregor and Rowan Shotanus out of absolutely nowhere. I was talking about how he was having quite a dismal season, but Shotanus the Flying Dutchman has propelled himself up into P3 to make it HWA Race Lab 1-3 here at Portimao.
I did not see that coming. Those 3 laps in succession to make it 1, 2, and 3. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, just lovely stuff. It's Michael Valjak.
Michael Valjak, 5th place.
That is very... Yeah, from P22, as you said, all the way up to P5. Michael Valjak once again in the points. This man continues to impress once again, proving that he isn't a one-hit wonder in Formula 2. Great stuff from Michael Valjak, but up into 3rd goes Håkon Olsen. Great lap from the Norwegian, and he is still fighting for pole here at Portimao.
Yeah, we were seeing some amazing lap times come in. I'm now wondering if you're going to see a 1:31.5 too, like I predicted, but we'll have to find out as there's only 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Who will be P1 here in Portimao?
It is getting very, very exciting currently. It is Remus McGregor, the man who actually debuted here last season. He filled in for Alex Broster at Campos when Broster went to Formula 1 for one race. So, yeah, good memories for McGregor, and he wants to make it even better by taking pole at this track. But with 3 minutes to go, I am sure that anything is gonna happen, as it always does in Formula 2. Nikhil Walji was able to improve up to 14th in the Prema, the man who sits P8 in the championship. Looking good for, once again, another season of fighting up in the top 5 of the F2 championship, as we're looking at Erik Adelberg. Quickly switch away to Rilly Sundevik, though, who himself finished P2 here last time out at Algarve.
Yeah, one man I want to mention. Yeah, we have Adelberg down there in P19. If he wants to extend his championship lead even more, which I mean, no one says he has to, but with 4 races to go, never say never. So yes, if he wants to extend his championship lead, he'll have to get a better qualifying position than that, or he just pulls off a miracle in the race. We'll have to find out and see.
Correct me if I am not oh, never mind. I was going to say that Adelberg could clinch the championship at this round, but that's incorrect. And even more incorrect, as Albert Chowdhury gets himself up into 9th. So into the points for Chowdhury, but across the line and onto provisional pole, it's Alex Broster, and he's tied Remus McGregor. He's tied him for pole position, but Broster will somehow get it. I really don't know what's the rule about that, but Broster has gone on to provisional pole with 1.5 minutes to go. Alex Broster could be on for 2nd pole of the season.
That's the exact same time. Shouldn't the guy who said it first be first? I don't know, but maybe it's like 10,000 faster. I don't really know.
You're correct on that. The times are measured more accurately than they're displayed. So this went down to the 10th thousandths
of a second. As close as it gets.
Really, I mean, it's just. I think this is just a testament to the closeness of Formula 2, as we're looking at Erik Adelberg down in 20th. Is this really how he wants his title defense to go? We're going to see as he's going to round the final corner. Let's see if Adelberg's going to be able to pull anything out of the hat. And he's coming into the pit lane, and that is going to be P20 for Erik Adelberg here at Portimao.
Yeah, that's really not good. There's only about 20 seconds to go, so that's going to be his final time, really not optimal. And as we have Albert Chowdhury going across the line, not an improvement. Can he improve for his final lap of the session? We'll have to see. Some drivers coming into the pits, they probably think it's not worth for an improvement. But we still have some drivers like Broster, Jimenez, and Valjak who are still out trying to find that improvement as Poco comes into the pits. Let's see what Schulenberg does.
Yeah, we're going to see what his teammate's going to be able to do here as he rounds the final corner. Schulenberg is also into the pit lane.
How about Valjak? No, he goes for another lap.
Yeah, let's see if Valjak's going to be able to improve on this lap, who currently sits in a very, very good P7 as he's going to go across the line. And it is, unfortunately, no improvement for Valjak. But behind him, Koopman Grissom goes up into 13th. What about Adam Hidayat, the American-Indonesian driver, is going to go across the line. Let's see if he's going to be able to do anything here from down in P18. And it is 5th for Adam Hidayat. Very, very good lap. And he is going to be quite happy about that one as Trident get both of their cars into the top 10.
Yeah, that's an amazing lap. And it's 5th place. That puts him in a really good spot for I was gonna say tomorrow's race, but it's today's race actually. So for the following race, as we have Jimenez coming across the line, can he set a lap time fast enough for pole position? We'll have to see as he's gonna come across the line. And it's not improvement. That's unlucky.
Yeah, what about Broster? Can he defend his pole as he goes across the line? No improvement for Alex Broster at the moment, though it is going to be the pole unless someone else can improve. What can Matija Dragovic do as he goes across the line to Serbian? It's only P15 for him at the moment. And the final car across the line should be Mihail Valjak. No, it isn't. And by the smallest margin in Formula 2 history, Alex Broster is on pole position for a second time this season.
Wow, that was just down to the line, the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. It has to be said, but yeah, well done from Alex Broster, and he gets pole number 2 this season and for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the grid then before lights out for the Portuguese GP here at the Portimao circuit. It's going to be Alex Broster on pole position, and accompanying him on the front row will be Remus McGregor in the HWA. Rodrigo Jimenez will line up P3 with Håkon Olsen, a very, very good 4th for him at the moment, as Adam Hidayat will take 6th ahead of Rowan Shotanus in P6. Then it's Daniel Fraser in 7th with Mihail Valjak in 8th position. Stunatorn Konken will take 9th with Jean-Francois Bilot taking the top 10 spot.
Then in 11th we have Abrar Chaudhry. Behind him in 12th we find Ari Soilu. And going down the rest of the order we have Mateus Boko, Grissom, Matija Dragovic. The man replacing Ollie Bogues, Jake Tilsley. Will he be able to improve up into a point-playing position? We'll have to find out. Going further we have Valji, Schulenberg, Ide Weitz, Richard Sundevik, and the last 2 positions are taken by our championship leader Eric Adelberg and Rosetta Martinez.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Adelberg's going to be able to do there from the low positions as we get underway here at Portimao. We have 6 lights. And we're underway at Portimao. Good start for Håkon Olsen there. Might try to get Jimenez for 3rd as Broster leads off the line from McGregor. Jimenez could try and do something down the outside. Are they going to be through right into turn 1? No, they aren't, as Jimenez is going to go up and alongside. McGregor then 4th, heading into the braking, so he's going to try to swing around the outside. He can't do it as Olsen and Hidayat are fighting for positions, and I think there might have been a bit of a scrabble there behind, and for Martinez. Martinez is into the gravel, and what has happened as they went 3 wide here?
3 wide. Oh, there's contact between them. Oh, it spins off.
Oh my
that's
goodness.
A big accident. That's really big. I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah, and you can see they're on the grass. I think he got on the grass, he banged wheels, and that sent him careening off into the grass. As we look at Ari Soilu down the inside line of Daniel Fraser, as Fraser's lost ground here at the start, but Martinez is out. But yeah, shame for Rosetta, as there was nothing he could do there. It was just a passenger as he went through the grass, as he tried to get it stopped. But Valjak is going to go round the outside of Rowan Shotanus. He's going to get the better exit on the highly experienced Dutchman, as Valjak is there on the inside line. Can he make the move stick? Rowan hangs it on the inside line, as Valjak is still there. And I think he's going to get it done. I think he might have gotten it done. And he gets it. He gets Rowan Shotanus, and Mihail Valjak take a bow. He's up into P6.
It's amazing stuff from the Croatian. As now we have about equal gaps, like 4 times between all of the field. Broster keeping his lead. And that's lap 1 done.
Yeah, very well done from Alex Broster. Then he's held off the other guys beautifully. As we're looking at Mateos Poco chasing down Tilsley, but Dragovic behind. We're sorry, that's we're gonna look at Kuben Grissom then, who's gonna challenge Daniel Fraser for the points-paying positions. As this is not how the weekend should have gone for Daniel Fraser, as the two are gonna go side by side. Grissom around the outside through turn number 4. Is he gonna get it done as he gets the better exit? I think he does get it done on Fraser, and he's up into P9.
That's good stuff from Grissom, but Fraser is gonna fight back actually. They're side by side. And he has the inside line, which is gonna turn actually into the outside line. Let's see, it's going through turn 8. This section of the track from 8 to 13, which is one of my favorites to be honest, is Fraser now gets the overspeed. Going through this up and down section, he's gonna get it done. Yes, he has it. But
Yeah.
Kuben Grissom fight back, he does fight back. Up, down the inside. Oh, there's a bit of contact there, a little bit of a nudge. Going down again and up. I love this section of the track. It's just so entertaining. It produces amazing racing, but Fraser keeps the spot.
Yeah, lovely battle between the two. As you said, just went back and forth completely. And it's absolutely great to see. As we're looking at Remus McGregor now, he's going to have a big helping hand now as we approach lap 3, because the DRS will be enabled not on this, not on the straight though. It's going to be the DRS zone after, but McGregor is going to be helped out massively here as Rodrigo Jimenez now sets the fastest lap of the race. So this is going to get interesting. Jimenez could definitely make a push for the race lead as Nikhil Walji's trying to get past really Sundevik. Having a look on the outside line, there's not a lot the Canadian can do, as it does run a bit wide. Is that going to allow Eric Adelberg, who's struggling down in 20th at the moment, to maybe do something? I'm not sure. But yeah, shame for Eric Adelberg as we're looking at his teammates a few positions up ahead. Jean-Francois Bilot, who's chasing down Thunderthorn Konkum for 12th at the moment. And I have to say, Adelberg has gotten quite lucky here, simply because of the fact that his championship rivals are all outside the points.
Yeah, and also because of the fact that he created himself such a big lead, but in the last few races he has been dropping off a bit. So he has to wake up from this drop-off he's had, because anything can happen in 4 races remaining. And after this one, it's only going to be 3, I think, if my calculations are right.
Yeah, so
yes,
we got
right.
Matija Dragovic, who's chasing down Jake Tilsley. Tilsley has a bit of a gap to Poco there in 15th, and you can see how close this pack is. You got Sundevik, Walji, Adelberg, and Weitz all involved in that. But now we're gonna see, as McGregor has the DRS, is he gonna be able to strike on Alex Broster heading into turn number 1? Could definitely do it, as Håkon Olsen has at the fast lap of the race. McGregor, though, stays behind for the time being.
He got really close, but he decided he's gonna save up the move for another corner. But of course, DRS is gonna make it easier. But I see Jimenez is actually really close behind him, so you have to watch out for it in his rearview mirrors too, because he's hungry for that P2 spot as well.
Yeah, Jimenez. What was I gonna say? He was able to. He did set the fastest lap, so he looks to be good on the pace at the moment. But right now, he just doesn't seem to be able to get the gap close enough to McGregor, considering they're both stuck behind Broster in this little DRS train at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen here.
Yes, they have now. It's kind of like a waiting game again, seeing where they can strike the best, using the DRS to their advantage. So we'll have to see what they plan out. But for now, it is Broster in first, McGregor second, and Jimenez in third.
Yeah, at the moment, I think the most important thing for Remus McGregor, it will be to maybe push just a tiny bit more to get that gap closer, because now heading down the start-finish straight, you can see the gap before is 7/10, and I just don't think that's close enough for McGregor to strike, and my point's going to be proven as we're going to head down to turn 1 now. Broster's actually set the fastest lap of the race, so that spells bad news for McGregor, as Broster has actually picked up the pace. Oh, never mind. Jake Tilsley actually sets the fastest lap of the race here. and he has now caught up to Matthias Poca. That is quite interesting.
I believe able to make a move on the Brazilian driver. We'll have to wait and find out. He's certainly close enough. He can certainly build up that gap. Another man who is close to him, though, who you have to watch out for, is Dragovic. He's also very close behind him. So let's see, as McGregor also, yeah, everyone's a bit close, but I think just don't know where to make the move. We'll have to wait and find out. Fair point, though.
Yeah.
It's only the early stage of the race, so there's no point going for too many risky moves.
Indeed. I think it's best to see if I think it's just best to try and scout out the opportunity and try and make the most of it. That'll get you into the race later. So looking at Rowan Shotanus, who has caught back up to Mihail Valyak. Valyak, who himself seems to be struggling to close down the gap on Håkon Olsen. We could see Shotanus try and take revenge and get himself back up into 6th here.
Is he gonna use DRS for that? They're gonna use it to his advantage. Let's see. They are now heading into Primera, and he stays behind. So no change there as for now.
Yeah. Remus McGregor set the fastest lap of the race, by the way, on that previous lap. I guess you could argue that the DRS is helping him set faster lap times, and I guess you could say that Broster is lapping faster overall. But yeah, McGregor still trying to hang on to the P2 spot, as I guess Broster is just kind of pulling him along. As there's a battle, that is Dragovic and Tildesley going at it, as Matija Dragovic is going to have the inside line on the F2 debutant, as Tildesley is going to go through a trial of fire here, as Dragovic swings it round the outside. That's going to allow him to get the better exit as the track goes downhill, and it's going to go uphill once again, as Dragovic will have the inside line through the fast left-hander. The two go wheel to wheel as Tildesley hangs it on the inside line. He might actually get it done, and he does defend from Matija Dragovic. Beautiful stuff from Jake Tildesley.
Yeah, surely proving his worth, but if he wants to prove that he's a fair contender for that for an F2 seat, he probably have to make up some more positions and show that he can also use his overtaking abilities. I don't doubt that of him, of course not, because you don't get a win out of luck, like 99% of the time. But let's see, the race is still long. We have about 20-ish laps to go. So let's see what else this race can bring us.
McGregor with the fast lap once again. Here comes Tunitron Konkum on the inside line of Albert Chowdhury. The two championship contenders just about going toe-to-toe, but Konkum just isn't able to inch close enough as he runs a bit wide. Schwulenberg in the background ran very, very wide through turn 14, so that could hinder the German a bit as he's trying to chase down Jean-Francois below.
Indeed, that's kind of a quiet moment in the race, but Remus McGregor surely is staying there, so he's not dropping off. He surely has the pace. We'll just have to see when he can make that move.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting call for sure when McGregor is gonna go for it. As we're looking at Ari Soilu currently running in 8th. He's been on a bit of a point streak these last 3 races, so yeah, the Formula E champion looking to continue that, as we're looking at below, who is chasing down Thunjatorn Konkum for 12th at the moment.
So we cut back to Arisoilo, he himself going after Roman Shotanus. Now he's gonna go down the main straight, see if he can use DRS to his advantage and some slipstream.
Valyak. Mihail Valyak is just at the fast lap of the race. That is actually quite interesting. He's actually gotten himself within a second of Håkon Olsen, and he's actually been pulling away from Rowan Shotanus by 1.5 seconds. Valyak could be on the charge here.
He seems to have picked up the pace, actually. He's closing down that gap. Can we see him break into the top 5?
Could very well happen, considering the top 5 have just been kinda not doing much. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a tough ask for Valjak to try and get past Håkon Olsen, considering Olsen also does have the DRS to his advantage, as he will try and get past Adam Hedeat, the Norwegian. But we'll see if what Valjak is going to be able to do.
Indeed, we'll have to wait and see. If I look through the field, it's kind of like equal gaps everywhere. Except Shotton. Yeah, Valjak really has broken away from Shotton. Now he's gaining about the 10th on, I would say, per sector on Olsen. So he surely has picked up the pace. But as you said, yeah, the DRS, there's kind of the train effect which we have often. So we'll have to see how he tries to find his way past the Norwegian as we are on. Well, I was gonna say on board, but that's not it. We are with Tunyatul Konkum chasing down Abrar Chowdhury. He, of course, also using the DRS he's gaining, but just doesn't go for a move yet. But we could see Dragovic go for a move on Tildesley. And is he still there? No, he isn't. He slots back behind.
Yeah, turn 1 moves on the inside line. I just don't think they seem to work, because the outside seems to have a bit more traction, considering it seems to be on the line, or on the racing line. So I think turn 1 is just not the best opportunity to try it, unless you're properly up and alongside your other competitor.
So they have to use their DRS and slipstream to their best, and even the corner exit on the last corner to get themselves in that position, because that's the only way I think they'll manage to do it.
This is interesting, though. Adam Hedeat is struggling to keep that gap within a second of Jimenez. It just fell out in 1 second, but that could be very interesting if Hedeat does fall out of a second in the coming laps, because that could see Olsen, Hedeat and Valjak all involved in the battle for 4th.
Yeah, that would be big points for them to take home, for sure. As we are with Fraser, who's also fairly close to Ari Soilu here. Let's see if he can use the, of course, again, as I said, the speed to his advantage. I'm seeing him a bit on the side, but I think he was just having a look, because he doesn't go for a move yet. He's really there, he's up close and behind, but he just stays there for the moment. I see Grissom there in the back, also fairly close. Let's see how, we'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what is going to happen, as Fraser obviously will be wanting the maximum amount of points possible in this race, especially considering he's got a championship to fight over, and a potential Formula 1 seat to secure, obviously, now that the F1 sign-ups are open. So we're looking at Michael Valjak still on the back of Olsen. Hedeat is just about fighting to get a hold of the DRS.
Yeah, indeed. Valjak still closing that gap to Olsen, by the way. He's now less than about half a second from the Norwegian. So let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be... sorry?
No, as he got, I was gonna say, he got Shottonus off his back because he's a bit more than a second behind him, so can worry a bit less about that.
Yeah, Fraser, though, looking pretty good to make a move on Ari Soilu. Will he try anything into the first corner? He's gonna go for it on the inside line, but I don't think he's gonna be close enough, as through turn 2, Soilu will defend from Fraser. And this does bring Kuben Grissom just a tiny bit closer to Daniel Fraser.
Yeah, the battle for the last points-paying positions, which still matter. So we'll see how that plays out. And as Abrar Chowdhury could see himself trying to get into 10 spots to bag himself some points this weekend, which he wouldn't gain a lot onto Adelberg, but a bit is better than nothing. So let's see how that goes on. As Brosser has built a bit of a gap to McGregor in the best case scenario, he can just about get him 1 second off of him, and that would be huge for him because then he can break away even more easily into the lead. As I say that, and he has done that, but I think I don't exactly know where the DRS detection zone is, but for now he's got McGregor off over the 1 second, so that's really good for Alex Proster, who can now try and really break away from the lead.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is. I mean, it spells good news for Alex Brosser at least, considering he's gonna have basically one less person to worry about. As this will be also good news for Rodrigo Jimenez, considering he's gonna be able to chase down McGregor with the DRS. Could also be bad news, considering if he does get held up for too long, Broster could just pull away with the race lead.
Yeah, it was because Process really picked up the pace. He's now already got McGregor 1.3 seconds behind him. I didn't expect him to get that much on him, but apparently he's really picked up the pace now, so he can have some breathing air. Look to the field. Olsen seems pretty close to Hidayat. I see there. And Hidayat is also there behind Jimenez. So this is kind of a train for P2, we could say. As looking to the field, it's kind of like a bit of a waiting game now, I have to admit.
Yeah. But we'll see if there's going to be something to fill the dead air. And I think there will be very, very soon, as Menace will chase down Remus McGregor then down the start-finish straight with DRS. It's going to get close to the Scotsman, but not close enough. So he's going to stay behind for the time being. Fraser is chasing down Soilu. He does not go for it either, so people getting very, very close, but just not close enough into turn number 1. I haven't seen anyone actually pull off a move into the corner.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Miran, I think the outside line is really the way to go for the first corner. That's why probably the drivers on the inside line are just not pulling it off.
Yeah. As we're looking at Adam Hidayat who has caught back up to Jimenez, so he is properly in this train once again. We'll see if Hidayat's going to be able to do anything as well. But Broster leads by 1.8 seconds now from a struggling Remus McGregor. It seems that McGregor might need to back off a bit, considering his pace seems to be at a bit of a deficit compared to the other guys.
Yes, Alex Broster, as I said, he's really picked up the pace now. He's got McGregor nearly on 2 seconds behind him. So I don't know where that came from, but that's the best case scenario for him right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I guess the question is for Jimenez if he's gonna be actually able to get past, because we've seen many instances in the ACOC before of drivers being so good on the pace and trying to push, but just not being able to get past one certain person.
Yeah, maybe because if Jimenez does try and get past, he can then chase down Broster. Sorry for interrupting, you can go on now.
I'll just mention that Jimenez did run a bit wide there as he tried to chase down McGregor through turn 5 or turn 4, sorry. So yeah, it's just a little mistake, but he has caught up to the back of McGregor, who's now 2 seconds behind Broster. So it's good news for Alex.
Yep. Valjak, we mentioned, was catching up to Olsen. He stayed there. He's staying there behind him. He's not really finding the gap to go at some point. But he's staying there. He's not dropping off. Just have to see when he does go for the move. Now he's a bit closer than laps before that. I have the feeling maybe he'll try and move down the straight. But then again, we've seen it with other drivers; it doesn't really work. Maybe he can make it work.
He definitely could. We'll see if he will be able to make it work. As Grissom heads down the start-finish straight, chasing down a struggling Daniel Fraser, as he's going to be in the DRS. Doesn't try anything though. Had a look on the inside line, but Grissom is unfortunately going to have to stay behind. Ooh, got a bit of a slide there heading out turn 2 though.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that he got a bit of a sideways moment, and now Chowdhury could actually try and profit from that. So let's see if he does. Stays behind now though, so doesn't go for, because just was a small slide. It was a good catch for Grissom. So nothing too dramatic ended up there.
Yeah. Chowdhury though has seemed to not be doing anything about staying behind his teammate for the time being. He's just kind of stayed in 11th there, and I mean at the moment I think it's more important for him to get into the points.
Yeah, as Prost really has built that gap onto McGregor, so I really can't see anything going wrong for Alex here, as we are about halfway done with the race, 13 laps to go, something like that. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see though if Jimenez is gonna be able to pull anything out of the hat here, heading down the start-finish straight. He is lapping just about equal to McGregor. I guess the DRS is helping him out a lot there, but just isn't able to get up and alongside him. I haven't seen one attempt from Jimenez.
It seems like it's just not enough for the drivers going down the straight using the DRS and the slipstream, but then you just cannot make it work into turn 1. I think that's where it's just lacking.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting predicament for Rodrigo Jimenez as Håkon Olsen runs a bit wide through turn number 8. Then up through turns 9 and 10. Still on the back of Adam Hida, but just hasn't been able to get past. This top pack, have to say, has just been at a standstill for most of these laps. And now even Rowan Chotanus is joining in there in 7th.
Chotanus, who I remember he was more than a second behind Balyak now. Now he's starting to catch up. So you can really see they're kind of slowing themselves down, and nothing really happening here. It's kind of a train, but I reckon towards the end of the race we're gonna see more aggressive moves, because then it's now or never.
Indeed. We'll see what's going to happen as we're looking once again at Jimenez through turn 4. He runs wide. Not really Jimenez's favorite corner, it looks like, but yeah, I think it's just more the fact that you combine the dirty air with the with just trying to follow cars around, which I think results in a lot of drivers running wide at that corner.
Yep, that may be it. So we have Olsen still very close to Hidayat, but as the drivers go to this to the sector 2, I really like sector 2 just because of like the up and down turns, going up and down, the elevation changes. Probably my favorite part of the track, gotta be honest. It's really challenging for the drivers, but it's also produced some fairly good racing. So hope it continues like that this race.
Yeah.
As the final corner is also very nice, like this long right-hander going onto the final straight. In general, I
Yeah,
think the layout of the track is one of I really enjoy. Gotta admit.
yeah. It is a really interesting track, I have to say. I mean, there aren't a lot of tracks like it, considering it is just molded into the environment, as opposed to a lot of modern racing facilities. It's got so much elevation, and a lot of fast and a lot of flowing corners as well. And it is a really, really tough challenge, both for the car and the driver.
Yeah, but they seem to take the track really well. Hope they're enjoying it because I certainly would. But one thing I want to mention actually, McGregor has made up a lot of the gap lost onto Alex Proster, so he's certainly picking up the pace now.
That is
Can he keep it up? Can he make it up even more? We'll have to see because if we can get down to 1 second again, that'll mean DRS. So
Yeah, that is actually pretty interesting to see that McGregor is closing down that gap. Maybe he could try and, or maybe we could have a battle for the race lead on our hands in the closing couple of laps.
yes, we have to drive shooting down the main straight again. Shotano's actually really close to Michael Valjak. Could we see a move now as I think they're actually side by side and Shotanus now he's can he does he have enough pace to stay on the side? Yes he does.
Oh,
He's the one who's gonna make that inside line finally work maybe. As they go through turn 4 now this is, but Roman Shotanus stays behind.
yeah, good defending from Michael Valjak. I think Valjak is falling off on Håkon Olsen, and Shotan is looking to take advantage of that as he goes to the inside line through turn number 5, but they will be wheel to wheel heading up the hill as we head through turn 6 and then into turn 7. Shotanas on the outside, can he get it done? Yes, and Rowan Shotanas will be up into P6.
Will Michael Valjak fight back now? Because I still see him there as Sundevik actually is fighting with Valji. We have a battle down there too. But yeah, Shotanus goes past Michael Valjak. That was a clean move. As Valji and Sundevik here fighting down for P18. Still fighting actually. Who's gonna come out on top of this battle as we go into the up and down section, which I mentioned is really nice. But Sundevik gonna stay behind. I didn't know who was in front. I'm sorry, but that was clean racing.
Yeah, it was very, very nice as we're looking at Jimenez chasing down Remus McGregor into turn 1. Nothing happening just yet, but McGregor, he is closing down on Broster.
So you might see the race come alive now the last few laps. As I mentioned, the drivers they know it's now or never because with 8 laps to go, there's not much time left. I see that is also fairly close to Jimenez actually. Could we see him try and move eventually in the maybe sector 2 or using the DRS? We'll have to wait and find out. But the gap and the chances are there. We just have to see how he uses them.
Yeah. I wonder if Hidayat's going to be able to do anything because it feels like he's been perpetually stuck in 4th since the start of the race. So I don't know. I don't quite know if he's going to be able to do anything from that position. Jimenez has had a lot of chances at getting close to McGregor and trying to make an overtake, but just hasn't had the opportunity to do anything. As Jimenez is going to now be in the slipstream of McGregor. He does actually look pretty close this time, and he's going to go to the inside line of Remus McGregor. Could this finally be the opportunity for Jimenez as we head through turn number 2? He's hanging it on the inside line, and it could finally be the opportunity the Brazilian has waited for, as McGregor is going to swing it round the outside, and he does defend from Rodrigo Jimenez for the time being. But heading down into turn number 5, will he get the run on the Scotsman? Yes, he does, and to the inside, late on the brakes for the Brazilian in the Prema as they go side by side. They're still going to be wheel to wheel through turn 6 and 7 as well, as Jimenez will have the outside line. Can he get the move done, as the Scotsman will try and defend the second place position from him as we head up through turn number 8. Jimenez gets the better exit, and finally Rodrigo Jimenez is up into second.
Andy, that was a great battle actually. Now Jimenez might be able to fly up to Alex Prost. Let's see if he can do that and make a challenge for the race lead. Maybe he just needed to get McGregor out of this way, but we'll have to find out.
Yeah, and I obviously should tell you as well, that gap is under a second, so Jimenez is immediately within DRS range. Things have just gotten very, very interesting here at Portimao, Giuseppe.
Yeah, indeed they have. As I told you, the race in the final few laps does come alive because the drivers know it's either now or it's actually never, because the race only happens once a season. Of course, here now. But Chowdhury actually pretty close to... That is his teammate, Grissom. So can he get into the top 10? That is, no, just about... Oh, yeah, as we've seen, not every driver can make that turn into... that move into turn 1 work.
Yeah, I think you need to just be a certain way, just up and alongside him. Because I don't think it's enough with just having a look on the inside line, because through turn 1 on the inside you seem to lose momentum, and then through turn 2 it's just the driver is easily able to defend through that corner. So yeah, I think you as Jimenez did, even though it did take a very quite a lot of time, I think the formula for being able to overtake is just to be able to get close enough so that you're up and alongside him, so that he can't close the door on you.
That could certainly be the case, as Jimenez, what did I tell you? He's now right behind Alex Prost, so Alex Prost now has to worry for sure, because he's there and he's gonna have DRS and the slipstream as we now head down the main straight. It's gonna turn into lap 23 with about 5 laps to go. Not much time for Jimenez to make a move, but can he make it even now actually into turn 1? We'll have to see. But I think for now he stays behind and tries to get that gap even more close down. As Albert Chowdhury actually is going to try to move on his teammate again. And I think he's actually side by side, or even maybe if he's going to get it done before. No, he doesn't, but he does stay on the outside, on the inside of his teammate. His team Grissom braking a bit later actually. That was a smart move because he stays in 10th now. So Chowdhury will have to try another lap, but he's still there. So don't count him out. As I think he's gonna try and move now. Oh, he actually has a look. It's difficult to tell, but it's gonna now turn to the inside. But then the outside, the two teammates fighting hard but fair. It's beautiful to see. Heading up into turn 8. Chowdhury actually has a better exit. Has he got it done? Yes, he has actually. That's Albert Chowdhury up into the points-paying positions. Great stuff.
Yeah, fantastically done from Albert Chowdhury, not before hitting a tiny slide there. But, yeah, Chowdhury does get 1 point in this race away from his teammate. So well done then from Chowdhury, as we're now looking at the battle for what is the race lead now between Rodrigo Jimenez and Alex Broster. As Jimenez, as I said, just has to get close enough to be able to make a move on Broster, as he is gaining, and he is gaining, but he isn't gaining enough heading into turn number 1, and he's actually set an identical lap time to Broster on that previous lap.
Yeah, so in terms of pace, they are equal, but Jimenez is there and not to count out. But I have to remind him, 4 laps to go. So it's either now or never. As we are here with Jean-François Bilot behind Kuben Gristom. So let's see if we can get up into 11th eventually.
Yeah, not the greatest race for Below, obviously, who I think would most likely prefer to be in the points, as Daniel Fraser has just breached the 1 second gap to Ari Soilu. So we'll see if Fraser is going to be able to do anything in these final 3 laps of the race as well.
Indeed, as Jimenez is still there. He's not backing off. But Brosser has gained a bit onto him because now it's a gap of 0.7. But Jimenez now again down the straight with DRS and slipstream. We'll have to see how this turns out. If he can close down the gap to maybe try a move into sector 2. We've seen people try moves there. Or even Adam Hidayat to get himself up into the podium. If he overtakes Remus McGregor here. But we are on lap 25 of 27. Who will come out on top this race?
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting to see. But Broster has basically led without issue for the entire race, and only now he's facing the heat of the Brazilian Rodrigo Jimenez in second.
And the person is surely not gonna back down now in the dying moments of the race, because this is a time where you need to make it count. But of course, you have to understand where are the chances and where are not. As Hidayat went for a bit of a slip and slide there. I don't know, it just looked like it to me. But Hidayat, of course, he himself chasing that podium spot for third, which would be optimal for him if he can get Remus McGregor. Not so optimal for Remus McGregor, who actually had a very strong qualifying. It's funny to say he nearly got pole considering it was the same lap time. But to drop out of the podium spots would not be a good result for Remus McGregor, so he's gonna fight till the very end to stay there in third.
Yeah, it is a shame for McGregor, but I guess it is just racing, as Hidayat will now be in the slipstream of the Scotsman, heading down into turn number 1. Let's see if he's going to be able to do anything. I don't think so, though, as Broster, I think, is just lapping incrementally slower than Rodrigo Jimenez, so there really isn't just a massive pace deficit there. I think it's just more the fact that Jimenez is just lapping equal to Broster, more than the fact that he is lapping faster. As we're looking at Below.
Yeah, he saw him go there, looking on the outside of Grissom, but you have to watch out for Konkum, so he's actually down right beside him. And he might have the move done. And actually, Konkum might try to go for a move on Grissom as well. Can he get a double overtake here? But he just slots him behind. And actually tried to go there for the move, but doesn't. Don't count out Jean-François Bilot just out now yet. You see, we tried to look on the inside. Nothing to come out of it. But this looks like a pretty nice three-way battle. As Konkum now actually goes down the inside of Grissom. Can he make it 2 positions in 1 lap? As doesn't seem like the case. Grissom got a good exit. I have to find out. That was a great overtake, actually. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, that was a lovely battle between all of those 3, it has to be said. So, yeah, great stuff between those 2, as we're looking at Håkon Olsen in this pack, chasing down Adam Hidayat, as we're now on the final lap of the race. And we're looking at Rodrigo Jimenez up ahead. The gap is 0.355, so I don't think Jimenez is close enough to do anything. Konkum, though, is going to have a look on the inside line of Kuben Grissom heading into turn number 2. They're just about side by side.
Yes, Konkum had a look there on the outside. Just doesn't make it work. But let's see if he can make a move into gonna be turn 5. Yeah, he actually goes for it. down the inside. Can he get it done? He is a bit in front. Their exit sounds, it looks like about equal. And Konkum is sitting there on the outside now. Can he get the overspeed? Looks like it, but Grissom there into turn 8 has the inside, but Konkum with a great exit. And that puts him up into P11. Great stuff from the Thai driver.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Great final lap scrap between those two. But this man who is still fending off Jimenez for second. It's been a very good race for him, as he will come home to seal podium number 5 and win number 3 as he rounds. Alex Broster, after a very impressive performance, wins in Portimao. Great stuff from him, and Jimenez will be second with Remus McGregor rounding out the podium. And I think that was a side-by-side finish. I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. Look, that is below trying to get Grissom. Yeah, that is going to see the end of the Portuguese Grand Prix. And if you don't mind, Giuseppe, I will just speed through these results because I have got dinner. Broster will take the win, followed by Jimenez in second and McGregor in third. Then it will be Hilliard, Olsen, Shotanus, Valyak, Soiler, Fraser, and Chowdhury rounding out the top 10. Then will be Konkum, Grissom, Bilo, Schwulenberg, Pokel, Tillisley, Drogovic, Walji, Sundevik, Adelberg. And then it's going to be Weitz and Martinez will be the DNFer. But that has been it for Formula 2. Thanks so much for watching. Before we go, though, Giuseppe, I think it is high time to award Driver of the Day. And I guess we start off with you.
Honestly, I wouldn't know who to give it to. Had a great performance. But then again, I wouldn't really know. Can I award it to everyone? Because that was a really good race. I would give it to Konkum had a good race too. Sadly, just about off the points. But I'd say Alex Prost had a really good race up there, just keeping the lead very firmly. So I guess I'll give it to him.
Yeah, I will also give mine to Alex Broster. I think he did a fantastic performance. He did not put a single foot wrong this race. So I think he did absolutely fantastically. And he is now tied second in the championship with Albert Chowdhury, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, he gets our driver of the day. But that has been it for Formula 2. The action at Portimao does not stop, though. We will have Formula 1 and Porsche Super Cup at Portimao as well. And Super Formula will be back as well for round 8 of the championship at the Lusail circuit in Qatar. So make sure to not miss that. Next round of Formula 2 will be the Bahrain Grand Prix at the Bahrain International Circuit for round 10 of the championship. But yeah, that has been it. I have been Miran.
And I've been Giuseppe.
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.